let's continue with the blockout. Let's open the main level and continue. So the idea here is to create the main logic for the buildings and accommodate a little bit the market around them. Also, I would like to modify some other areas that are very close to the main village that I think that doesn't look that well. Okay, now we are here. Okay, I want to start with this. I would like to get all of these grouped and hidden from here, because this doesn't really help much. I'm gonna go through here, get all these pieces. Group and hide. Well, let's get this one as well. Nice. Okay, here, yeah, let's just cut this out. Maybe here. Oh my god, all of this is separated. I'm gonna get all of these separated, I mean grouped. and hidden. Cool. Now that can also be part of this group, so we can hide all of that. Then let's just cut this out. So one way to do it is browse, seeing the asset, duplicating it, then placing it on the same exact position. Then getting this one modified. Let's delete this thing. I thought I deleted it. Let's see. And here I would like to put this material here, make it a group, hide it. I want to select this. Okay. Okay. Just need to push this a little bit, something like that. It doesn't really matter now. I'm gonna copy all properties, paste them here. I deleted this thing. I see. Okay. For some reason I'm having a double-sided. Is it a double-sided material? I think so. That's why. What I was trying to do is actually cut this piece here. So Control B to browse, D to duplicate. Poly edit and get rid of, let's get rid of this piece right there. Something like that. Let's get these vertices. Let's get the loop right there. Fill it. Okay. This one I will push here. Okay. Now this and this can be part of the same group and hide. Now I can get rid of that part. I can hide this thing, and now I don't have that stuff actually going into this. Also,
unreal. Sorry it's been so long.
Hey, how is it going? Everything's good. Pushing forward with the project. Okay, we can hide this. Yeah, that's what I wanted to do, just get rid of this super big chunk there, because I didn't like how it looked on top of this village. Yeah, I have this other bunch of super cool buildings here and the market and stuff, but for now I'm working on the main layout, which is going to basically incorporate this town into the market area. And the main landmark of the village will be this temple in the center. So I'm using the cube grid tool to block this out. We can hide this.
I know you're now probably in the thick of it already, but how is the job?
I worked for, it was a temporary contract. I worked for, was it 3 months, I guess? December, yes, three months. And the contract did not get extended, but if everything goes well, they might call me in the future if they get more client work. So yeah, I'm just doing YouTube meanwhile, and working on this project for now. Pretty happy. I've been doing a lot of stuff that I always wanted to get into, like modular assets and stylized art. So pretty happy with this project. Also, yeah, learning a lot about like the modeling tools and also the cube grid, which is something that I tried before but actually didn't kind of like got the hang of it. Now I'm going a little bit, I'm using it a little bit more. Yeah, this is gonna be super cool once we actually get the buildings in place and everything. Trying to see how things might look like. We can almost see everything from here, and we even get a higher level. I'm thinking adding some, how do you call those? spiral stairs, so we can get up here from the other side. Here we could probably add a little bit more. So, for example, I think this is too thin and it's not really working well. Let's add... Oh no, my cube grid. Oops. It got the settings reset. Okay, no problem. Was it 45? No, it was here. Okay, 45, and I think it was grid power 7. Or was it 6? Aha, 300, there you go. So let me just take a screenshot super quick because I don't want to mess this up. Okay, so here I want to select this, make it like this. It's a little bit too, I would say, a little bit too. Yeah, this tool is very cool, like just like pushing things around. Feels like Minecraft, something like that. Actually, this we can, no, let's leave it higher actually, so we can actually get that view. Maybe this one does not need to be that high. We can probably make it like this, and this one could be also smaller.
It takes place in Rome with fantasy elements, right? So is there going to be like an old guy called the Pope that smells slightly like old soap?
Hey, lighting, how's it going? Not sure about that, but we definitely want to have some very cool NPCs. Definitely some cool NPCs would be nice. Oops. Okay, nice, we got more space, not too much. Maybe I could push things a little bit. Okay, now we got rid of that. Super happy. This was bothering me a little bit, this platform here. I was like, no, I don't like that. We could probably cut it here, something like that, and make this a garden or something. We need to see. Next step is going to be the probably the market, or no.
I'm doing good, just finishing up the prototype environments for my game currently.
Nice. Cube grid right there. Yeah, before the market, I think I wanna add a little bit more to this. Let's create a spiral staircase that goes from the bottom up here. Let's see if I can push this. And let's see how much space do we need for this. uh, okay, for this I wanna try to use the least amount of space as possible. Okay. So I'm going to go and cut the last step. And push this one also there. Okay, this is the space that we need. So I'm just gonna copy everything. Select this one and copy it again, so I get the pivot point on this. Oh no, this did not work as I expected. Okay, I think this one goes into this. Okay, and I just need to. Oof, this is. I don't know. It's too much. Yeah, definitely we need an elevator. Okay, and here probably I just need to copy. This back up. Oops, like this. And I think we reached the...
That staircase is more broken than my carpal tunnel.
Okay, and I think we reached the height right here. We don't need probably this. And just one more. Yeah, this is... I mean, what else? We can make what I did on the last stream. And this one I would like to group it. Maybe no. Let's just keep it like this and see. Oh, we actually probably don't need all of it. Let's see if we can fit it, like fit this somewhere. That makes sense. Oh, perfect. We don't need this last one. Okay.
It'd be cool if you guys had like those wooden elevators that were powered by ropes and gears. Any tips on where I can learn how to do this? I'm really interested in this, it seems fun. Also, do you test each of your builds in a sort of sim?
Test my builds on a sort of simulation. The best way to learn this is downloading Unreal Engine and just playing with the modeling tools and the cube grid. And you can basically start with a third-person template, and you can just play around. If you create a third-person character project, which is like a template that comes with this with Unreal Engine, you can play and you get a little character that you can like move around. So the idea is to be able to actually test it as much as possible. So Now I'm going to make some kind of like entrance here so I can start using those stairs. And yeah, definitely it's it's pretty fun. Let's see. I guess I'm just gonna cut through this. It's not lining up perfectly, but let's see, what can we do? Because this... Okay, we are getting a little bit into the landscape.
Unreal Engine is free to use. There is also a lot of free assets, test levels for you to explore and try out and pull apart in order to develop your own skills.
Hey Stormy, yes, there's a lot of super cool templates and free projects you can explore. It's very nice.
I used the code a lot when I was in college. I switched to level design purely because I was sick of looking through 400 characters of code just to find a one that wasn't there. Sad face.
Yeah, code is definitely difficult. Okay, let's see, where can we place this thing?
Hey Unreal, hope all is going well. I would hang but going to bed, LOL.
I appreciate it. Have a great night. Thank you for coming saying hello. Let's see. I always lose the cube grid. It's on create cube grid. And then we can push this down, pressing the Q key.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Hot.
It will be nice for these stairs to end maybe on this side. Wanna hide them a little bit more. Something like this. I'm missing these ones.
I wonder if you could get those stairs to work with PCG.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, I really have my thoughts on PCG. It's a super nice tool, but at the same time, it requires a lot of. Oops, I want to push this down. There you go. It requires a lot of effort to get one of those graphs actually working, and it does. I mean, it does not give you like total control or over the customization of things. Right here. I keep losing that menu. So from the artistic side, like it's, you know, there's nothing like hand placement. It just really gives you more control over everything. That's the reality. Yeah, I spent like a week just trying to come up with a PCG building, and I managed to do something like you know, make a super nice graph and everything, but I don't know, I was not really satisfied with the amount of control I was able to get. Even after baking it into a blueprint and stuff, it kind of like still, it doesn't like, you know, give me, oops, I got stuck here. For this, I think I will try to do something different. I think I'm just going to go to modeling and do the other approach, which is simply just pushing this. Faces here. Not sure how that is going to.
I have a PCG code from a separate project if you want it.
For what specifically?
With some better controls.
Yeah, but you know, I mean, if you can share a video or some screenshots of what are the results, that will be nice, because really, you know, like usually people end up with a kind of like apartment kind of building, you know, like a box-like building. So it really doesn't. I mean, it's super cool, like the procedural aspect of things, but it's artistically it doesn't really do much. That's what I've been realizing. I wanna see what happens to this after I move it like this and I go back to cube grid.
That's the issue, it's very boxy.
Yeah. That's basically what I was trying to.
And I didn't make it, it was off of a project I downloaded to overview code.
Like, the procedural aspect of it is very cool, but at the end you end with like something that artistically doesn't really you know, you end up with a like very simple boxy building, which is not what we need. And then I made like the comparison, like, is it actually worth it to spend like weeks trying to come up with a graph that will give you a boxy building, or is it faster just to do a modular snapping, like, you know, old school kind of like environment level building. So it's kind of like it's I don't know. It will be nice to make a topic on that. Make a video on that topic, like a reflection video.
Was fall damage added to play testing yet? Not me just wanting to fall down the whole staircase scot-free.
We do have fall damage, but it's very forgiven. So it's made for not to do too much damage to the player. I want to try something here. What if we use a smaller block size? Oh, nice. Nice. I think that's it. Yeah, let's keep...
Then you can put life alert in the game. Greatest idea ever. Help me, I broke my ankles and I can't get up XP.
Yeah, fall damage, it's interesting. I will say that it definitely gives the player restrictions of where he can go and where he cannot go. But also, I think making it very realistic. Maybe that's not what we want. What if I go 50 units and then I push? Maybe 10 units? Nice. Okay, I'm getting a little bit more comfortable with the cube grid. That's very cool. Like, now I'm starting to understand a little bit more how this works. Oops, that's not what I wanted to select. Nope. Okay, let's see. Is this one piece? Okay. I want to close that gap right there. It's there you go. And then I want to cut it here. I understand. This is out of the grid. That's why it's not getting that. So I'll need to go into 10. And now I can get this cut. Okay, nice. Now I'm getting a little bit more comfortable with this. Okay, cool. So this and this little piece right here, it's probably 20 units or something. 30 units. This is not probably the best way to do this, but okay, nice. We got this. Now I would like to get this piece, which is maybe 100 units. Okay. So let's get this and this. Can I go shift select? Oh, nope. Okay. So I guess I'll need to do it like this. And we can get that closed. Nice. Okay. Okay, I'm starting to like the cube grid. And this is just the basic, because I know you can do ramps and you can do like a lot more with this. Nice. Yeah, now that I understand a little bit more about the units and how things kind of like work. I think that's why it's a little bit nicer to play with. I don't see anything there, and I want to close this a little bit. I need to add a little light.
I can definitely see this area becoming a lively scene. Good work.
I appreciate it. Yeah, unfortunately, well, if you see the thumbnail of the video, you can see like a little bit of the style that we are going for the buildings.
100% beast mode.
Hey, how is it going? Yeah, I'm really liking the cube grid.
Regarding the great staircase of doom.
Yeah, I know Ryu doesn't like these staircases, but look at this other area here. I'm trying to terrace a little bit this here, and I'm trying to look at the, you know, the views that we are getting from each of these terraces. It's you get a little bit more on each one. This one is super nice. And then we get to the last one.
How are you lately?
Hey, Serenity, long time no see.
I don't mind. It is fine.
Again, I'm
I like it.
just playing around, trying not to stick too much into details, just playing around. Also, I'm trying to, like you said, trying to give more functionality to these buildings from the underneath them. Trying to, you know, make these kind of like tunnels where we can actually have stores and stuff. And the market area, I wanna leave it for a little later, because I know I will get stuck in details. But I know this area, I wanted to get all the market around this area and get it like inside this big street right here, get it around here. I made this little space. It's gonna be like the store for weapons and stuff for the arena, something like here. Maybe this can change a little. Also the height of this, maybe these walls can be higher, because we don't want this to be mixed too much. But yeah, let's try this out. So the cool thing about this, I can go to cube grid and go like to 10 block size. So if I push this, I need to make this selection like this, and I can push it. Oops, oh, sorry, camera is going too quick. Right there. So we can work inside the grid. Now that I know what the measurements are, we can try to get that a little bit.
I have been gone for a while. I got a little overwhelmed with my own game. Do I drop it for now? Can you explain to me what you're working on? Like what the idea is?
The idea of this game, it's a Souls-like game that takes place in Rome in 2070. So the idea is to defeat different enemies, get better gear, and defeat the different bosses in different arenas. There's also going to be quests, and there's going to be dungeons. And the style is going to be very cartoony, what's the word, cozy, and it's going to be all melee fighting. And one aspect that I think is very cool is that everything you see your enemies wearing when it comes to gear, weapons, you will be able to pick it up and use it. So that's something that I find very cool. And now I'm working on the layout. And yeah, I totally understand. Like it happened to me also with a project. First, I came up like my very first Unreal Engine project, interactive project, like let's say small game, was a little mech that flies around and is able to attack enemies and shoot projectiles and use a grappling hook, like an electric cable grappling hook. And it was super cool, super fun. I showed it to some friends and they were like, dude, you need to polish this because it's just very rough, you know. And then
Is this gonna be multiplayer?
not for now, but the idea is that when you finish the game and you get to go to the last arena, this is going to be the final arena, and you defeat the final arena master, you will unlock this new game mode where you are able to customize different enemies and just really customize it the way you like to be able to replay it. And on this arena we would like to implement different multiplayer battles. We have 2 programmers that are helping us with this, and this is a feature that we would love to implement. But the whole game
I can definitely imagine those little dudes trying to throw random stuff at each other in hopes of survival.
yeah, and yeah, the map is huge. Like I sometimes get overwhelmed with the size of the map, because it's not only what you see here, but we also got a sewer system, which I'm super excited about, where you see like it goes all around the island. Here's the the bunch of other buildings that I actually created. It's funny. We probably don't need this anymore. I will just hide it. But yeah, here I have this is how the buildings are going to look like. I made a bunch of different variations. This is what we are going to use based on. Oh, look at that cube grid just going crazy. This is what we're going to use based on the new shapes that I'm going to come up with on the layout. Then we have the whole market area that is going to be placed there. But now things are a little bit in middle of the process. And here, this is like one area that I really enjoy. Like I really like this area. It's like a big kind of like the sewer facility where like we want to have like maybe a boss fight or something. And then we have this water filtering facility, which is gonna be like an industrial area. I'm super excited about this because we're gonna have like a lot of tubings and like very industrial area here. It's just a kind of like super basic
There is whole city under a city.
rough idea. Yeah, and there's the dungeon, which it's a super cool dungeon here. And this dungeon is connected to the mines because we're gonna have some. This is the frog cave. Here we're gonna have another kind of like little boss fight. This is we're gonna have water coming from here down there, and the frogs are going to push you down, but you need to come up. This is the initial area, still very rough. And here we have some mines. These mines where people are mining ether, which is like the source of energy that these people use, the ether crystals, and that's why the dungeon is somehow connected to this. There's a story behind it. And let me see, I keep getting lost on this. And here we have an exit. We just need to cut through the landscape here. There's another cave somewhere here where you get to fight this guy, which unfortunately now we are working on the data tables, data assets, I think it is. So now the armor is not available, and for some reason these rocks moved. They were a little bit placed like this. I don't know why these moved, but yeah, something like that. Anyways, we're gonna work on this, make it a little bit nicer. And that's what we're gonna have for the demo, because there's the other side of the island. There's
Technically, work. I just need to get the models in. Tongue sticking out.
and here's going to be the main city. Here's gonna be like the Emperor Castle, and here we're gonna have farmland, and maybe a little swamp area here, which I haven't told Ryu, but I would love to have a little swamp area.
Are you a dev?
Yeah, he's the head of the project. He's the one who came up with the whole idea. And this is the tower. It's gonna be a light tower for ships to be able.
Ether is basically a material that allows things to be powered, essentially this world's version of magic, which is somehow responsible for the magical creatures.
Something like that, yes. And here's a lighthouse that is going to basically tell ships that, well, you shouldn't be crashing around here. And we're gonna have frog people living inside. So there's a quest that involves fixing this lighthouse, and this is going to be ruined. So we're gonna have some ruins here. And also the bridge is going to be ruined, like some kind of like asteroid or something fell through this direction and broke it.
Ether is a power which can be seen as magic.
Yeah, and also the main purpose of ether is giving energy to the island. So that's how you get electricity. That's how you get this futuristic also vibe to this. We call it like Rome punk because it's gonna be Rome, but in the future. Oh, what happened here? Oh, I think this wall actually needs to be a little bit longer. Not like that, but like this. Something like this. Here's where the ships are gonna come with the resources for the island, and then they're gonna get carried through here, stored in here, and sold in the market, and then they're going to be carried through this tunnel into the main city. So this is a secret tunnel for the. Also, again, we need to cut through the landscape. I was working on another level, and this is the main level, so I need to basically
This
go
is super cool.
and
You've
cut.
done a lot of progress since last time I was here. Last time I saw you were landscaping. You're killing it.
Thank you. Landscaping. Yeah, I think I changed the landscape a lot on the other level, and here I got this other thing hidden. You see, like
Awesome idea, bro.
we had this.
Multiplayer is a huge selling point.
Yeah, definitely. I think multiplayer will definitely be very, very nice. But at the same time, it does require a lot of effort, a lot of work from programming wise and stuff.
MP will create massive problems, but we are doing an interesting standpoint. MP will be for the arena only at first. And then, when we get a chance later, if people love the game and it sells well, we will open it up to the entire map. %, agree, LOL.
What is this?
1% co-op might be interesting.
Yeah.
That is why the player is broken. We set it up for MP, tongue sticking out. It was already working, Same with all the monsters and items. But we pivoted to allow for MP.
Yeah. When I started working on the project,
And we have a squeaky chicken as a weapon, call it a holy artifact.
we do want to have chickens and little pigs that you kind of like go and pick up, kind of like Zelda Wind Waker style. That would be super fun. Yeah, actually, when I started with this project, I was like, whoa, they got a lot of stuff done, and then suddenly like everything was broken, and I was like, what's going on? And basically, yeah, they're reworking the whole thing to be able to make it multiplayer for the arena. But maybe we can get it on the rest. Sometimes I kind of wonder, like, is it like, you know, I know I know making games from scratch, it's like it gives you like, you know, more possibilities and everything, but at the same time I'm like, um,
Functionally, we can make it MP easily. Balance though, not so easy.
oh yeah, definitely balancing things. Yeah, sometimes I think about like what if we could just use a template and make it full, like just a blueprint, you know, make it like all blueprint based. It's probably, I mean, going to be very restrictive, but at the same time it's like might allow for
When you think that, slap yourself LOL. This isn't an asset flip.
okay. Yeah, you're right.
If I lose all my coders, then we can look at templates.
Oh no, dude. Yeah, the coding thing is like, damn, it's such a hard topic. Like, because every coder likes working on its own way. It's not like you can just throw somebody new on the team like, hey, here's our code, just continue with this. He needs to understand how it's written, how things are made. It's I went through something similar on the last studio I worked.
And, to be honest, I already know most of the code. I just can't focus on code and game design, and level design, and art.
This is strange. Why is this not fitting there? Anyways, these details are not important right now. Okay, yeah, I totally understand. I totally understand. Don't worry. Yeah. Damn, making games is not easy. It's not easy at all. That's the reality of things. Hey, what? Okay, look at this super tiny door. I'm not sure about this one. Okay, this is going a little bit too much into this. These stairs. Oh my god. Definitely we should use an elevator
I
here.
like it. It gives me Dubai back alley vibes.
Hey, we need an elevator for sure. A let's see. I wanna check. We need to push this one. Nope, I don't wanna do that. Okay. I wanna get this. For some reason, this.
A thing I could balance for MP games is kind of a mix between Code 2 and Elden Ring. You can see some people around, but you can't interact/kill them.
Well, that's just another level,
When I
like.
was in college, my computer science teacher would give me broken code tutorials and I'd have to fix the code myself. It was infuriating and I was supposed to be the student face purple crying.
Yeah. Why? Wait. What is going on here? I'm getting some issues here.
Hi, bro.
Hey. I'm getting some issues. I thought this was square, but it seems like here it's touching the.
They're like ghosts. You can see them, which gives a multiplayer experience, but in order to play with someone they need to meet certain requirements.
Oh.
You are doing great.
I appreciate it. Everybody's very supportive today.
Had to pull up probably, but cool nonetheless. Yeah, I know how that works, but the issue is, that's still MP with local hosting and such. So if you do that, might as well just go full MP.
Yeah, I think having a solo.
Maybe I can help you getting more views.
I mean, just being here, it's pretty nice. I appreciate it. So yeah, I think there's still a lot of people who want to just sit down.
Church don't sell views.
There is a big.
I am not selling.
There's like a big player base. Let's say there's still like a lot of people who want to play solo mode. Like they still like to play.
It's just awesome.
One player. What's the word? Like
God, that's why I am just helping.
single player.
It's always those little things in parts of making games. They're so little, but infuriating and take a backbreaking amount of time.
Yeah. But I think that taking that decision right now, it's gonna help definitely in the long run. Kind of like thinking ahead a little bit. Why is this not being pushed to the other side? That's what I don't understand. Okay, we have two different... Ah, this is a different piece of geometry. Ah, look at this. Oh, that's why. Yeah, I'm still trying to get used to the cube grid, and sometimes it creates a new piece of geometry where I was not trying to get one. Very, very interesting tool. I need to get more comfortable with this. Okay. such a mess.
Balancing multiplayer games are hard because in Marvel's Avengers you had to sacrifice the power levels of the character, which ultimately led to the poor sales and the fact that it was an open world. I mean, was not an open world.
Marvel Avengers. You're not talking about... Ah, no, it's Rivals, right? The latest kind of like... Yeah, Rivals is the kind of like Overwatch kind of thing. You're talking about the other one. Let's see. Let's get this other one here. I want to make the grid 100.
So, that is the key factor. More players means more power. More power means areas of the world would be unkillable without a group. There are ways around this. There is a tool, which we can do, that would modify HP values for monsters and damage values based on player count. We could
Don't
also modify the AI to work in more complex and coordinated methods when you have MPV as solo.
You're getting me a little bit scared with feature creep. Let's...
But, again, that is more dev time, more testing, more everything. MP to any game makes the development time almost threefold.
Yeah.
We are talking, chill it down Kimosabi.
I'm like, dude, I want a demo by August. If we need to cut down stuff, let's cut it down, but let's not add anything else.
Face with tongue, you don't have to worry. I have no plans to add MP till I have funded security. Funding.
Okay, this is enough. I'm just getting distracted here, which with little details that I shouldn't be. worrying about.
How hard would a rope pulling elevator be to put in this hole?
Yeah, an elevator there would be super nice.
Not hard at all. We have it already.
Yeah, we actually have some elevator system.
For an ether-powered one, but we need to slowly introduce technology.
What do you mean? Is it going to be like part of the story?
Reuthamus, I'm friends with one of the lead developers that worked on Rust. He actually told me a lot of games fail because they add too many features. This game won't. It has realistic expectations. He said pulling. I am saying we can have an ether-powered one. No need for pulling.
Oh no. Yeah, this could look very cool with windows and like a nice.
At the Lightning Beat 777, that would be 100% correct. The ability to complete a game and sell well is based on harmony. An ether-powered elevator would be sweet. Game loop should 100% be solid. That is the key. Nothing gets added that is not part of the core game loop.
Okay. Okay. What can we do here?
At Unreal Habitat, yes, there is lore based on technology. Right now, in the real world, if you go to Cambodia, they are not using the same level technology that is in Singapore or Japan.
Yeah. That makes sense. Here, I separated this.
The game is the same. You start off in smaller, simple places, and as you progress through the story you learn about new and existing technology. Not only do you gain new weapons and armor, but the world and environments get more complex, showcasing more tech and making things feel more alive.
Okay, sounds interesting. Let's see how that looks without that thing that we had there. Yeah, I miss the character rolling on the armor. Nice. Now we don't have that stuff on top of everything. Yeah, that thing I don't like it.
So, you start off with swords and shields, but in the later part of the games, you get energy weapons and energy blades. Your shield can do some cool things, and your drone abilities are enhanced. I technically have armor in. I am making the low quality ones right now. That sounds awesome.
By drone, do you mean like a flying drone, like, you know, like Is it going to be used for fighting or?
The light you have is a drone.
Is it going to be used for lighting or fighting, or what's the main purpose? Now it feels a little better without this thing here.
It's a light drone, and we will have the ability to send it to locations. You can unlock skills for the drone that let it have a stun ability on enemy groups, or an alert.
Okay. Okay, that sounds interesting.
So it makes a noise, and enemies then can chase it, letting you slip past or get crit hits on them first.
Okay. Sounds pretty cool. What do you think about this area, Ryu? Should we make it like a little kind of like maybe?
You can also unlock a heal ability for it, so it can auto heal you once every XX seconds.
Oh, that's interesting. It's just gonna like go to you and inject some kind of like healing substance.
The upgrade or progression system is the drone.
Interesting.
Reuthimus, is it going to look like a modern drone or more of like a magical device?
No, I think we.
You can terrace it if you like.
You see, like, I don't really want to get it too close to this. What if we make a small, like, maybe this could end somewhere here?
At the lightning beam 777, it will look like the object found in the dream world. Orb of ether crystal contained.
Oh, like the concept art you showed me. Oh, like some kind of like stone creature.
You take the drone to the mad scientist in the first village, and in his lab he will modify it with parts you collect from armor and such.
Oh, okay. Oh no. Okay. This shirt is a little bit too thick. It's getting a little bit hot. Also, I'm drinking tea.
The drone is deployed from your backpack, and the backpack is only used in the main open world. A stone creature, perfect description of my brother. You can't use it in arenas.
That sounds very cool. Let's focus a little bit on this. Now that I have you here, it will be super nice to talk about this a little bit. Here, I was thinking like maybe it could be a terrace, but what if we just make it a garden and we don't push it out that much?
Hi, what's up?
Hey, Adam, how is it going? What do you think about having something like this that is not pushed out too much? I'm thinking something like that.
Stop making flagship.
Dude, this is all vertical. Right here, what do you think about? Because we don't have too much space to make a terrace here. You see, and this overhang, I don't like it. I don't like that overhang. We should probably push these walls out way more.
I think you should learn to use the terrain. You can modify the terrain if you want, but you shouldn't have all that flat land. Add a wall, and make it something that is walkable. Add a nice wall, and make it walkable.
But Ryu, like the thing is that I mean, like, you know, the thing that confuses me a little bit is that I thought that these upper villas, they were going to be like, you know,
I can join the chat and show you.
very very rich people villas. Yeah, that sounds good.
Explaining this to you from this chat is impossible.
All right, I'm on dev talk
No need to be confused.
or streaming. Okay, right here. Okay, I think I'm here. You will just need to mute the stream so you don't get double audio.
Crazy rich PPL area.
Yeah, I mean, I understood that
Beaming face with smiling eyes.
we wanted to separate the rich
In
people.
ancient times there was definitely a lot of segregation between social classes because history, yeah.
I mean, it's
That's
hola hola. Hey Ryu.
okay. I'm gonna share my screen so that way I can walk you through this with what I'm thinking once they enter. You're not gonna share my screen on live, right?
No, it's on another.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I don't mind it.
But I think it's okay if I share the audio.
Yeah.
Let me push this down a little bit. Let me know, guys, if it's too loud. Okay.
I'm going to go grab my coffee real quick and then let this level load. So I'll be right back.
Okay. Okay, hopefully it's not too loud. Sorry, guys. No, yeah, I mean, social segregation, it's present to this day. It's everywhere. Definitely. Like, you know, there's this like super wealthy neighborhoods that you cannot like get close to. You need to go through like 3 different gates and 3 different guards and stuff to get into there. So it makes sense to have this separated, because this lower area, it started as a kind of like a slums concept, but it was not exactly what I had in mind, like this kind of like a Brazilian favela where like buildings are just constructed on top of each other. But I guess we're going for something a little different. So I don't want this to like, you know, like for example here, I don't want this to be super close because it doesn't really make sense. And here, like having access to this also, it doesn't make sense that much.
It's wrong, but unfortunately it's reality.
Yeah, I mean, that's how things are. That's how things are.
Okay, it's done loading. Cool. Am I loud on your stream? Or are they cool?
Is Riot too loud on the stream, or is it cool? I think it's okay. It's peaking on the same level as my voice, I guess.
Okay, cool.
I have such a weird...
So the easiest way to kind of describe it. Obviously, I don't want to sit here for 5 hours and take up your stream's time by trying to sit here and go through this. So I'm just gonna like give you a really quick and dirty version of what I'm thinking. Okay. And again, I don't take what I'm saying as the grave, or not the grave, but the end all, be all, say all. Obviously, I want your creative discernment, because you've shown your ability to do so. But the point here is that we're gonna have this building structure, over here, kind of looking the way that it looks, and this is fine. I have no problems with what you've got going on here. I think this is good.
Are you sharing screen?
Yeah, you have to
let me see.
send chat.
Okay, now I'm there. Cool.
So this is all good and everything else. I might make one or two, little adjustments or changes. But for the most part, I like what you're doing and I like how you're going and what you're going with. So this is good. Where I'm trying to get across with this is I know you don't want these two to touch, and I don't want these two to touch either, because I think that would be unrealistic design, right? But they might have this little back area here that, is this is something that I think your design lacks is the walkable regions, right? So I need to think about how would I traverse and walk through and get from point A to point B. And even with the smaller buildings, those basically had the same problem where there wasn't a lot of walkable paths. And so you really have to think about how they're going to be utilizing this. And so if we take that from the bottom concept and we apply that to the top concept, what we're thinking here, or what we should be thinking here, and I like, by the way, I like the idea of a garden. I think that's cool. I'm not opposed to that. But what I'm thinking here is, again, what are they doing, right? And if you look at a lot of the older castles, a lot of the extra areas were gardens, or they were just like little statue areas or cool little things that had little fountains or whatever else. And what this design currently has problems with is elevation. And that's not a you thing, right? I just flattened it out and said, here, put some crap here. So that's not a you problem, but it is a you problem to solve, because that's why you're here, is to solve it. So what I would suggest is we can terrace this and then put a retainer wall, not here. We don't care about, this is rock, right? Put the retainer wall here, or like a cool little wall here that follows the structure. So that way, as they're walking through this nice little gantry or whatever it is, they can kind of look over and see, the plebes. Now, obviously, we don't want them being that close to the plebes, so maybe this one gets moved a little bit more this way, and this is like a little back walkway where all the alley crap is, and this is where they store their crappy food or trash or whatever else. Because again, if I walk out here, I want to see that cool view. I don't want to see, the plebe who is a lower class getting naked or throwing apples at me or bananas or because whatever, So I don't want that, right? So we want a little bit of separation there.
Okay.
But this could be a really cool, like I said, right up here, they can walk down another set of stairs down to here, and this is, that little garden thing. And then you could have this garden being terraced, meaning you can cut into the terrain and, make some cool stairs that go up, and some more cool stairs that go up, and some more cool. So that way it's like a little level. And then when you get over here, there's a statue or something like that, So that way it has a purpose. And another good example of this would be if you look into Hiroshima or Nagasaki, the places where the actual bombs dropped, they turned those into, like, they were literally flattened out and it was, all destroyed and everything else. What they did is they turned it into a memorial with a bunch of statues that you can walk through. And so, I'm not saying we throw a bomb here and then make that a memorial, but what I am saying is we can turn this into something that would be a pretty thing, and maybe at nighttime. So if we're thinking about how do we make this functional, maybe at nighttime, this is where the Thieves Guild meets, behind, like, the rich people who are plotting to do whatever it is that they're plotting to do. This is where they meet.
But
and there's
you would like to take this house out, the H shape.
I'm not saying you have to or you can. It's up to you. What I want you to do is I want you to have the freedom to kind of play with this. If your argument is you don't like how it extends past and you don't like how it looks past, which I'm not saying I do either. I think that your current iteration of it is lacking. So we need to change how that looks. One of two things can happen. And what I was kind of playing with last night was the idea that what if these houses that are here are underneath this and I built the rich people on top of that. So that gives you justification to have these overhangs because I have all of these houses being built here and these rich people are on top of that, right? And then you can have a little overhang so that way they never see those poor people. You know what I mean? And then you have the cool concept where they're above literally those lower class people. And those lower class people still get to live down in this area too. So that's one way that you could do it. You could get rid of all these houses and only make them up here in this little terraced area up here. I'm fine with that. We don't have to have 5 houses. You could have, 1, 2, and maybe a third one over here. I'm open to however you want to play with it, but I think the idea is we should stick to something that is more terrain based. What I liked about this concept over here is you didn't F with the terrain. You worked with the terrain, and that's good. Now maybe we can make this a little bit more whatever, but the point is you didn't mess with the terrain. You stuck to the terrain, and this is going to create a very nice design when we're finally done with it because it sticks to the terrain.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm still not sure about having like houses right underneath the overhang. Like that's what I was playing with today. I was like, it doesn't feel like right to have like such a like tall buildings underneath.
But that's what I'm saying is if you have to think about how this looks, right? So here, let's just play this out real quick, so that way I can help you. Let's throw just throw a cube in here. It's fine. You can do stuff while that way people aren't bored. Or you can share the screen too. I'm not going to put anything that shouldn't be on your screen.
Let's see if I can put it here. It's gonna be a little hard to look at. Yeah, maybe for the vertical stream it's not gonna show, but
so ideally, right, I think you got these broken apart. You do, which is great. That makes this easy. Cool. So I probably would make this smaller. Oh shit, you have it.
Think of it like a totalitarian society. They want to believe that they are above poor people, therefore they will build things taller and even above poor people. Human society's kind of crap.
Being silly.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
So here's what I'm saying. Okay. Now, if we think about this and we try to make this to be a cool design that is pretty and functional and everything else, right? So we do something like this where you have this overhang right here. Now your argument is, okay, I don't like the fact that I have this big huge wall here. And I agree with you. I think that this wall is silly, right? We don't want that. But now, what if you come here and you do this? And now you do something like this. This is a person's house. There's a door here. There's a hang here. There's some windows. There's another thing here. And then there's some stairs that come down to this next level. And on this next level, guess what you do? Bam, you come out. And you have yourself another level. And maybe instead of, coming all the way out and doing this multiple times, so we break this up, you come out over here. And then this is what leads into this section over here, into your stuff. Now you've got this that leads into here, which then comes down there. And so now you have a reason to have this here. And not only that, you can create some differences and variances by, maybe having one come out here And so that changes the walkway a little bit. So now you've got the walkway that comes out a little bit and looks like this. And so you get a little bit of that variance. These guys are on top of this. They will never, ever see those turds underneath them. And now you've got this really cool built into the thing, and you're utilizing all this empty space for housing and people that can live there. And again, you don't have to get rid of this stuff. We can kind of make this look pretty. Obviously, it looks ugly right now because we hit it, but we can make this look pretty, and it's got little walls there. And again, I'm not going to see anything. I'm going to see a little path right here, you know? And we can put a wall here that makes it to where the player can't get up there, so that way nothing's happening. Everything's going to look good. We can put vines on this and have vines grow down. We can even have like, you know, little portcullises or whatever you want to call them for the drainage system. So we can show water that comes down from here and then pools down here, and then that water comes down here. Or maybe this is where the guy comes out and, you know, he's like, throws his poop out. He's like, and it comes down here, you know, and flies. Whatever. The point is I think that this creates depth that we don't currently have. And we're still utilizing that space as they would if they were to build into this castle and need that space up here. And so if we look at this, we can go here. Let me just dev it all the way out so that way you can see it. Right? I put this all the way over. I put this here. Put this here, and then that's gonna have like a walkway that comes down. Like you'll have like stairs that come down. We would have this needs to be a flattened out walkway as well. Maybe not go as far down.
Now we are extending like the village all the way through.
So there's nothing wrong with that. This is part of the whole purpose of this, right? We're building this out. This is how a city would look. As you get all the rich people and everything else, this would be where everybody needs to live and everybody's talking and growing. And as people come here and live, they need to create new things. Maybe this originally was just a big, huge wall, you know, to support these rich bastards. And then in the process of that just being a big, huge wall, they were like, oh, crap. Well, okay, yeah, we're supporting these rich bastards, but we also need housing. And we can't really do anything about our current situation because there's no extra room. So let's build out here and create some new houses and do it that way. Makes perfect sense to me. And you can have access to, you know, different things in there, and we can get crazy with how we want this to look. The player's not going to care. I'm just being real, man. They're not going to give two crap-a-dapples about any of that. All they care about is where am I going and can I access all this stuff. I like things being functional, so I don't want to pretend that, you know, I don't want this to not be functional. I do. But I also know that, you know, if we've got to modify the terrain a little bit, then F it, dude. Let's modify the terrain a little bit, you know? Let's have them, this can be a place where they're walking, and this would be a really cool, I mean, think about this, you know, the player is this height. Let me hit play and see how long this takes to load. Is that Stormy? Hey, Stormy.
Hey, let me.
Hey,
look, you got a whole party in here today. Okay, so let's say, oh crap, I can't fly, bro.
No, there's no flying.
F my life, I can't fly, bro. Oh my, okay, I need to add.
Unreal made a whole bunch of stairs earlier. You can just run up there. It's like 68 floors.
I don't have all that.
Yeah, you need to walk.
Oh my F and my lifeies. Okay, well, anyways, you can see that it looks good from over here, right? It looks structured, and it's going to look terraced, which is going to be really cool. There's going to be cool sight lines. We'll have cool views. Damn, dude, I didn't think I was going to make that jump. You'll have the ability to kind of really see things in a good way. So I need to add flying. I'm making that a mandatory thing.
And you want to make this all the way through, like underneath the others buildings?
If you're going to go that far and that crazy, yeah, why not? You know, like it's up to you. It depends on how you want to do it. I think you design the top first, so that way we know how far that goes down. Or You can go down. You can go from bottom up. I'm fine with that too. And then whatever you don't have support for on the bottom, then you need to delete so that you can have it. But the point here is we have a lot of good sightlines here. Like we have some amazing sightlines. These views are going to be great. You're going to have this nice view here. You're going to have this nice view here. We're going to have palm trees. There's a market. We have a lot of good, sightlines that are going to be, in view and working with us. And so I think if we leverage that, right, this is going to be such a pretty thing. And then I can see that villa up there, and that's kind of my hint that, oh, there's something amazing up there. I'm not doing a broomstick for flight. We're just going to make it. You're not going to actually be able to fly, by the way, in the game. So,
no, there's no flying.
No broomstick.
Beautiful. Oh my goodness.
So there's going to be a very city-based, it looks very, very good. Like I said, you've done a really good job at making it feel like it's terraced. This is kind of
let's push the whole structure away from the wall, from the landscape, so we have that back alley, like you said.
I like this right here. Maybe that one over there, yeah, but I like what you've done right here. This is good. I don't think you should move this.
Thank you.
There's nothing wrong with a few alleyways and a few object art pieces like what you're running over now.
Because you see this part, we don't have enough space, I think.
Well, so this is because right now you're using a cube system. This would be diagonal. I would have this be diagonal all the way across, so that way this is an even thing. And this doesn't need to be houses. This is just like a top area. Maybe
make it into a terrace park type thing where people can
I was about to say that, yeah. Maybe it's got some chairs and some umbrellas or some other shit where the nice fancy people that are upclass for here can sit down and chill.
Don't forget plazas were a thing in Rome as well as Greece, as a very Mediterranean type thing.
What were you saying, Unreal? Go ahead.
That sounds good, yeah. And maybe we can have an overhang made of wood or something that will extend a little bit out.
I'm not opposed to that. What I would suggest here is
that's the fair weather friend type thing. You'd have when you go out to a park, you'll have some covered areas for rain, but the rest of it won't be.
Yeah, I think for here, like I said, I would do a diagonal here. Don't do it right now. It's not needed. But I think that if we do a diagonal so that it follows the flow of the mountain, then we're good there. And I wouldn't do anything over here. I might actually extend this into the mountain right here for this one. Okay. Or we can make it like some kind of watchtower or something, or like it's a little tiny building, whatever. The point is we can figure out structure for those. Here, this whole thing can definitely come away from the mountain. And again, I would put something on this side here where basically I am creating structure that they can walk around. Right, and so it doesn't matter that it's there. This is the walk around thing, and this is how they can get where they need to go and move where they are. I don't care about this.
You could actually punch into the mountains slightly and create a grotto effect.
Well, yeah. What I'm saying, I do want it to punch into the mountain right here. Is what I'm saying. Well, no, I don't. Okay, and what you're saying, grotto, no, I don't want that. But we can do that in other places. For here, what I'm saying is we can leave this here. I will create some kind of line dressing thing that doesn't make this a hard, thing that it is right now. And then we have the wall here, that they can look over and everything else. So they see this nice view. They see all this nice structure. Everything looks good. And they don't ever have to go down to Plebeville, and Plebeville's never going to be able to get up there. So they're just chilling down here. And then I would move this outward to this a little bit.
Okay.
And by doing that, we have a nice walkway here.
You need Plebeville to have some sort of access, though. I mean, let's face it, who's going to wash your toilet, clean your toilets if Plebeville can't come up to the villas?
Well, so I think that's where this is where this place gets involved. So originally I had told him, and I think this is where I want this to be structured. This little area right here is like the quartermaster's major area. So you get through you get through here, right? Let's say I come up to the main area. I'm like, yay! I can go to the market, or I have to. What if you like put like a sewer exit next to the slums? We're gonna do that too. That is a thing. By the way,
We do have an exit nearby. We can add.
yeah. You have one here, like this is the big one, and then I think having an entrance up here would also be kind of cool somewhere. We'll get into that, but I think I would hide that inside one of these like tunnels or whatever else. You know, maybe like you come back in here, and then that's how you get into it.
But
we'll
don't
get into that
forget,
later.
this is not the capital. Effectively, it's not the main city. This is basically
correct.
one part.
But this is supposed to be the sprawling like poop show of people, right?
Oh, I know.
And that's
I know.
so that's what I want to make sure that we keep. Like I'm fine with this. Like I said, I think this is a really good use of this. Even this, like this is a really good sight line. You know what I mean? Like this looks cool. You're like, oh my God, that's really cool. You'll see towers when you get here, and you're gonna want to figure out how to get up there. And you'll go through all of this, and then you'll get all the way kind of up there, and you're gonna be like, son of a bitch, how do I get there? Anyways, back to where I was going. I think this is the quartermaster, and this quartermaster has access to the elevator, and the elevator is what gives you access to the rich people place. So
Yeah, give me routes, because I'm going to have to design the routes for the daily activities of the NPCs, so they do the right routes and wander the right places.
yeah, and I think that, you know, having some kind of maybe like, and maybe that is a good point. Like maybe up here, this is we could even make this kind of be like the nice, you know, the nice place where everybody who goes to work like lines up, and then they get up in here, and then that brings an elevator up, and that's how they get access. The daily workers or whoever lives in the villas or whatever else. This is how they access it, and then you got like little nice shops or something on this level. But then on this level, it's all, you know, the poopy livers and whatever else. I don't know. We can come up with it. All I'm saying is we don't have to have a flat ass wall. We can use that wall for people's lives and living, and creating some terraces for walking and looking out. And you know, we can really make this effective by doing that. You know, just punch it out like this.
Do you want to extend this all the way to the end?
I haven't thought about it. So I could say yes, and then you extend it all the way to the end, and I don't really care. I don't really care. It doesn't matter to me.
Because if not, like we will end up with the same problem, like having just very big walls there.
No. So your problem is that you've got like 14 houses here, right? So if we get rid of house A and we get rid of house B, right? And now we just make a house here and a house here. Now you've got this all here. I can get rid of this whole thing. Oh! I get rid of that whole.
It's a big
I get rid of that
piece.
whole thing.
Don't worry,
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
separate it.
I can get rid of that whole thing, and then I can have this be, you know, the next terrace. So this comes across and is the next terrace and lines up to that wall. And then now I have this whole undergarden area that still matches all this, and I don't need this anymore.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
And so I can get rid of this because this is my landscape that we already have and that's already there.
Yeah, I think
And
we can even make it like a rocky cliff or something. No need to have like a man-made structure.
no, I agree. That's what I'm saying. I think right now it already is a rocky cliff. So I'm saying if you get rid of all this, now we just have to reshape this terrain a little bit to work for this garden thing that we talked about. And now that makes perfect sense because you have your super rich fancy people, like 3 or 4 houses, and then they got these really cool gardens that they can walk out here that has statues, and those gardens will be what has the nice views of all the vistas.
You know what's funny about this? Is I watch you take away piece by piece of the buildings I'm going. Imperium Part 70, Imperium Part 69, Imperium Part 68. Man's forced backwards.
Yep. Well, so I mean, he's going to do that. I'm not. I'm just kind of spitballing and throwing some things out there. So,
Just the other thing to remember is don't create a situation where we're going to have 1,000 NPCs because that just becomes unmanageable in that respect.
it's not unmanageable. We got to plug in for it. But no, you're correct.
Santorini. That's what he wants to do, yeah.
Yeah, we have a
Exactly.
plugin for it. There's going to be a crap ton of NPCs.
That's-
Now, you're not going to be able to have like
Well, most of
super
them
rich
are just-
dialogue for
most
all of
are
them.
just- yeah, most of them are just going to be walking around doing their routines and have nothing but basic interaction then.
The Lightning Thief, yes, you are exactly correct. That is one of the references that we were talking about yesterday. There's a couple of them. But anyways, here's what I would suggest, by the way, while I've got you here and we're looking at this, so that way we can kind of help out with this layout a little bit. I would say these designs are good. Again, I love the sight lines. I love what you're doing. So I'm not trying to detract from that in any way, shape, or form. What I would suggest, wait, what? It's nice that you said it. Yes, I didn't mean to be dismissive. I apologize. I'm in the zone right now, so I'm not trying to be rude to any
We've
of
gone into
Unreal's
dev
people.
mode, which means we're not so much in streamer mode.
Yeah. So when thinking about this, think about it in big blocks, right? And so kind of try to block this out, because what I'm thinking is we're going to have this nice interior and there's going to be things. Now we can still, again, we want to do like what we're talking about over there, where I have multiple levels and, you know, maybe there's a little walkout that comes out over here. And so maybe this is too big of a block. I'm not saying it's not. So maybe like make it smaller. So that way we have a nice little walkout. And then, you know, you have a little walkout there, and that lines up there, and then that's what lines up to, grab that, and then that's what lines up to this level right here. Yep. Except for
Now, the slums, I actually haven't got your fully idea. Were you going to have it more slum-like, or were you going to have it middle-class?
So I'm thinking Overwatch 2 or Overwatch 1. There's a level in Overwatch 1 that this is really what's kind of after. Originally, I wanted it to be slums, like I wanted it to be like dirt, like crappy towns, right? And then Unreal was doing his stream and doing some awesome, cool stuff, and he was like, "Oh, I want these arches to be here." And once he said that, I was like, "Oh, this is the Overwatch level," and that's really what I kind of got in my head, because he had this cool idea for, you know, this nice long way, and we'll have like little stalls here, and there's going to be clothes and overhangs and all that other stuff. I love that. I think that's great. So that's what changed it to be my multi-tiered level. It's still low-class people.
So you want to
Underground?
think three-dimensional, in which case go towards the more Chinese-type principle, where you actually narrow the space between buildings. So you can still have your market markups and all that sort of thing where they happen on top and all that, but you want that slightly more claustrophobic feeling.
Well, there's two sides to that. Over here is the claustrophobic side, and then over here is the big main path that leads to the quartermaster. So
Yeah, now
in the arena.
that's always the public works thing, and it's always
Correct.
done and bearing. So
Yes.
the idea is the buildings screwed off the side, so that when you actually have to do a quest and you're going through a maze of buildings and you're not sure which left, right, especially if you don't signpost it, it does make traveling around, especially we're not looking at helper quests, are we? As in, go this direction, go that direction. We want people to explore without that.
100%. Yeah, you got to find person X or XB or whatever.
Go
Anyways,
underground for a second, just to show a little bit how the buildings might look like right under the temple. Underground.
Go on.
I have all the buildings somewhere there. You can hide the big yellow boxes to be able to see things better. Just click on, it's a group, so you can just click one on the big boxes and hide it. Yeah, it's all groups, so just H and you can hide all.
Yeah, it's very much Roman inspired in the sense that this is a timeline of Rome that did not fall.
So that's kind of
Yeah.
like,
And I like all of this. I'm not saying we're not going to use that. What I am saying, I don't know how do I unhide that? I press H again.
Control H to unhide everything.
Okay, cool. Anyways, what I'm arguing for reminds me of the HBO show Rome and how the things were layered. Yes, very
Yeah,
much.
that's what I just said.
So
HBO.
what I'm looking for is this is good. Now what I want this to make sense. That's what I would spend the time doing is okay, if I'm walking across this bridge, what I also should have a terrace here, so I can walk here, and maybe not there, maybe it's just here or something like that. So that way I have that stuff like that, or maybe like I flattened this part out, so that way this is like a little area where I store my crap, and I got to walk upstairs to do that, or this is where the ACs are, or however we want to do that. Those are the things that I think that after we finish this, that's the kind of the next logical step. But what I was going to get across, so I don't want to hijack your stream, so I'm going to make it as quick as possible. Just give it a little bit of depth in the oomph size-wise, right? This is good. I really like what you've done here and how you made that like thick. And then you're even thinking about the bottom parts and being able to go through. I don't think this one makes as much sense because this is like kind of weird, but who knows? I would probably bring this down maybe, and then maybe this is a shop. I would bring that down.
Yeah. This is a little bit
Some of your set pieces, some of the set pieces you should make are some marquees and awnings. If you're but I mean that's once we get this site stuff done. I think yes. I need to spend some time with him and make the things so that he can throw some set dressings and some towels and whatever else. Yes, I agree. So, anyways, let's not hijack a stream. Let's make this quick. And we could talk about this after his stream is over. That's what we did last night.
You're talking about like the buildings I made that they have like some kind of like, outside structures where you can like walk, like some kind of terraces and stuff. It's just that this is it's kind of hard.
I want them beefy. Right now, it feels like they're tiny. Like, I don't know what this building would ever be or what architect would have ever made this.
It's kind of hard to visualize here. You need to like kind of. This is kind of like
these blocks. That's what I'm saying. Go ahead. Sorry.
This is kind of like the bones of the building, and from here we can add like the little balconies and like terraces. It's kind of like hard to.
I'm not worried about those. I think that's where we're getting misconstrued. I'm talking about the size and the shape. We have these little tiny buildings that like you're not going to have any rooms in here. There's literally like I can't do anything inside this little tiny building. This is a 3x3. There's no rooms for beds. There's no room for structures. And this is over here is a really good example of how I found this out, right? So I originally had a much smaller plan for what this building was going to look like. And then I started like deving on it and I was like, oh crap, I don't have any room for anything. Where's the bathroom going to be? Where's the thingy going to be? And then I had this design for the upstairs and then I put a bed in there and I was like, oh my crap, there's no room for a fucking bed. There's no room for nightstands. And then I wanted to have a little thing so he could look out and there was no room for that. That's what I'm talking about, that you don't need to come up with these awnings, but we need to give enough space to have structure. And so when we do these little tiny, like this right here, this is not going to work. I don't even know what the heck this would be.
But like go down underground a little bit and see the ones I made. Like, do you think those are like small enough? Like,
these are too small in some cases. In other cases, no. Like, so for example, I like this. This is really thick. And it's good. You've got some nice, let me go to unlit, I think. You've got some nice space in here. We can fill this with room. I can put some props in here. That is a really good structure, right? And this inside part is really nice because I have lots of different rooms that I can work with.
This is kind of
like
all
good.
The size I was thinking for buildings. Like, I know some of them look very small, like, because I was using a 300 by 300 cube grid. So I was kind of like cutting too much into it just to try to keep the sidelines a little bit clearer. But it's good that
Not every angle has to be a perfect sight line in every sense.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and
there are times where dark and dingy is actually a sight line in itself.
But so let me make sure I'm refocusing this, okay? Because I get you, and those are great things. My argument isn't about any of that. My argument is that when we make these, this needs to be, you need to make it big and thick, right? That's what I'm saying. When you block this in, you should, like, look at, right now I'm playing with a 16 by 16 by 16. So obviously that doesn't fall into my 3x3 crap. So let's say it's 18 by 18 by 18.
Don't worry about this, the grid.
But what I'm saying is I need this to be big. So that way I can think about what this looks like. So my base layer is this. Now, on the top, I can have some really cool kind of whatever. I don't really care, you know, if we have like a one tower that has a ladder that you can get on top of, and that's what gives you your sight lines, that's okay. But I would never, like, this doesn't make sense. And so what I'm arguing for, and what I would like you to do while you're doing this blockout, is get a strong base. The first level needs to be, I don't care about height, like get the 400 or 600, whatever we're saying the default height is, get that looking good as in the space, right? And we say, okay, I want this, we kind of did this last night and you've already done that here. You said, okay, I want this to be this size and this is your first layer. Do the first layer and have everything blocked out first layer and say, this is my default height for everything. And then come in and create your second layer, which is your, you know, your step up. Okay, that looks like this and all this. And then you can create your one-off little towers like this, you know, where there's a good sight line and everything else like that. Because what that's going to do is that's going to get you rid of the weird, I don't see where we would ever use this. And that's where I would be nitpicky and I'd be like, bro, we can't use this. So
it's kind of hard to visualize. Like, for example, here, I was thinking the last level, it's not part of the building, it's just the tent. You know, it's kind of like maybe like a very big collision box that will cover the building kind of thing. Like, it's kind of hard to visualize it like just like this.
Well, so you have to take it in steps. I think of it like clay, right? And this is the important part. We need to understand, like that guy even talks about it too in the video that we both liked, and we were like, oh yeah, I've watched that before. The first step is putting in all of the kind of the big blocks. And once you've done that, then you cut in and you move around and you do everything else. So I think you were on the right track when we did this big huge thing over here, and then you started cutting in to get a terrace here. That was great, by the way. And there's nothing wrong with these. What I see being the problem is if we leave this as it is now, I'm going to come in here and destroy 99.9% of this because I can't use this. I can't use that. I can't do that. So I know that it's hard to visualize, and I'm not telling you to see the end product. What I'm trying to get across here is that you need to put these big blocks that have whatever the default height is. If we're saying, so a 500 by 500 is basically, why is that texture warped? What the F? Okay, if we're saying that this is a 100, this is basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 high. I think that's probably too high.
You have the walls that you did in the map right here. If you want to grab one of those to see the height.
Yeah.
You see those yellow ones? We have 4 floors.
So this is 4, right? So this is 400 high.
This is exactly the same piece you made just with a window. It's 300.
Yeah, it's 400 high. I'm worried about height. It's 400 high.
400, yeah.
Okay, so with this being 400 high, right? And again, we're talking about normal like whatever. We're going to have people down here, and they're going to be living their life, doing their best thing.
And you can snap it to 100 to go a little bit easier.
I think the common height is going to be probably maybe 2 or 3. I think 3 for this big area is probably makes the most sense. Like I think for here, 3 is perfect, right? But for the common places, and if I'm not trying to go crazy, I think we want 2 of these, which is technically 800, to be the common height. So this is where I want you to kind of think. So when we're talking about these big huge blue blocks that design out what we're thinking about, all you have to do is you basically set this to 8. That's my height. Automatically, that's my default height. If we agree upon that, I'm not saying that is right now, but you set that. This is my default height. Everything that I start with needs to be here. And then I think about, okay, well, you've already got a good layout, so I would not change this layout whatsoever. What I would do is I would kind of flatten everything out that the base layer is there, and start to think about, okay, if I need to fit some crap in here, what does this look like? And I think a 9x9 is a basic size for the basic house. I mean, you can kind of look at your other houses.
9x9, you mean 3 walls by 3 walls. So it's gonna be.
If that's how your brain works, yes, it would be 3 walls by 3 walls.
Let's say.
Right, but what does a 3x3 fit in it? What do you have in it?
And that's where I was about ready to go. But I want to make sure I am answering questions. So, but if we come here and we go to where's my stupid thing?
Unlit.
There we go, buddy. You called it. Look at you, genius. So if we come here and we go to props. And then let's throw in a brazier, like that's the big one. We don't want that one. We want the small one, right? So let's say this is a small one, and then let's say we want to throw in a bed. And they're not rich, so they don't get king size beds, right?
Maybe we can even make some hammocks.
Yep, and that's fine too. We have bunks. That's the thing.
Oh, nice.
So either way.
Unreal, do you have the ability to switch Ray's stream onto your stream so that's actually coming through on the YouTube?
Yeah.
Because anyone watching now have no idea what Ray is doing.
No, yeah. I that's what I was going to say. You guys are live.
Yeah, I know I'm live.
The desktop audio is being streamed, so yeah, people are hearing.
Yeah, I'm tracking. So, anyways, this is a small person's house. I'm okay with this, right? Like they don't like maybe. Shut up, focus, man. Trying to attract me.
Highest person.
Okay, so this is I'm talking like small person, as in like a poor broke person who doesn't have lots of money.
But
so this is their house,
yeah,
right?
Basically, it's a shack or a 1-bedroom apartment.
But
now,
also, Ryu, sorry to interrupt. Like
you're fine.
You need to. I'm not sure. Like. You want to make things functional, but I don't think like every single structure should have like a bedroom and bathroom and like
I'm not saying that it has that. What I'm saying is that you accommodate that so it feels realistic. Okay, and this is the important factor. When I'm talking about this little tower here. This tower is fine. I can justify this tower. We can say that this is like it's got all the windows on it, and that's how the air gets in and the hot air goes out, and it's got a little like a ladder that comes to the top so that they can come and see it. This is fine. This base here makes no sense, and that's what I'm trying to get across here is when you create these, the base needs to be good first. Before you start adding in the second and third and fourth layers, but I need the base to make sense.
That base is bigger than a 9x9, 3x3.
This base, okay, so this base right here is bigger than a 9x9. Agreed. The one that's coming off here in this little corner is not.
But that could be a small room connected to the main structure.
How are you going to connect that small room? Like if I come unlit real quick. I agree with you in premise, okay? If I come here, how is that where are you gonna put a door in this thing, bro?
Well,
there ain't no door
it does
coming
not
and
match
connecting
our grid, but we can push it to have 300 units.
Sure, but this is what I'm trying to get across. Let me try it another way, okay? I'm not arguing with the concept of what you're doing. I like this. What I'm trying to get across and what I'm arguing for is this. You need the bottom part. It's all over the place. I look like I'm in a Qbert world. I need to have a set, solid base structure. And if we're saying that, I'm not going to say if we're saying, I'm saying that the base structure should be 800. So this is your base level for almost every building here, because that's how we're going to fit all these people in here. Then you need to have a mindset of that when we create this. That doesn't mean that you can't have little pieces like this. Well, yes, correct. That doesn't mean that you can't have this little piece right here But that piece right here comes in after I've got all of these figured out, which we don't. And that's present and relevant in what I'm seeing whenever I look at this. Like I said, it's just cube-birded out. So that's what I'm trying to help with, try to get structure-wise. I'm just telling you right now, you can go in and you can make it as sexy as you want. It's not going to pass my sniff test because I'm going to come in and I'm going to say the same thing that I'm telling you right now, which is...
You're both approaching it from a different direction, though. That function over form was... I mean, Ray, you basically saying, give me the function of having the houses and livable, and Unreal, from what he's been doing, has been half-pie landscaping with cubes to create the form, which he then puts the function into.
Yes, which is, again, I'm not arguing that, but
what you're saying is, give me that functionality down the bottom so that I can at least see where you're going and add the form in a bit later. You're basically reversing his slight work process. That's fine.
You want each base of the houses to be
yeah, I guess I would call it that. I'm trying to get, because what we're going to run into the same problem that we have right here, right? We're going to get down this good idea ferry and look at all this stuff, and it's going to look cool, and this is very cool, but functionally this doesn't work in this setup, right? And that's why we're doing this, is because we have these cool designs, but it didn't flow. And so what I'm trying to get across is that we need these big brush blockouts that are massive. I don't care about like the little nuances of where they're connected and where this bevel's out yet. I want the big flow. Where is the player going to walk in the major locations, and where is the space for the player to walk? That's the same thing I did over here, which I think I will obviously revisit as well. But the whole point is we changed this a little bit because of the player size and how big they needed, and the space they needed to walk, and the space they needed to move. Those are the kind of blockout things that we need to make choices
I need to clarify something now, especially because Serendi asked this question. You're not talking about every house should be exactly 3x3. You're basically using that as a unit of measure to reference by. So 3x3, if you want to increase the size of whatever you're building, it might be 6x6, but you're staying with 3x3 measure to standardize things.
No. So and yes, I guess. So 3x3 is our grid. That is how we're doing it. A 3x3 is basically enough space for the player to be in. That's like the smallest space that we want the player to be in.
So that's basically your minimum. A house space itself can actually be larger, but the minimum would be 3x3.
You should not have a house that is 3x3. That is a corridor. That is a hallway. That is like a tower that you're climbing up. That is
or a 1-bedroom apartment in a block.
No, that's not even a 1-bedroom apartment. That's like a New York 1-bedroom apartment. Like, that's horrible.
What is the smallest size?
Who said we're nice people? But does that clarify for you, Unreal and Serendi?
Yeah, like, let me justify a little bit what I was trying to do here. I was trying to like come up with the flow of how things are going to like where the alleys and where like the streets of the town are going to like go through, right? But like the scale of these cubes is not representative of like what the buildings could look like. So yeah, I totally understand what you're saying. So next step will be to set up the height to be a minimum of 800, which means 2 floors, and the minimum space will be 3x3 or 9x9. I don't know how you say that, but like 3 walls by 3 walls by 3 walls by 3, and basically go from there.
So I don't want to discount what you're doing. Again, I absolutely love the way that it looks. What'd you say that was? Control H? Yeah, okay. Mm-hmm. My fear, and this is the reason why I'm bringing this up now, is my fear is you're going to detail all of this and you're going to get it to the next level, and we haven't solved my first problem.
No. Now it's not time for detailing. Now we're taking a step back.
There's only one detail that's absolutely needed. a player must be able to fit inside the bloody building. If
Well,
that doesn't
okay.
work, that kills it. And
What's
Serenity, that's the answer to it. The smallest thing we can do is what a player can fit into, otherwise it's not viable.
Yeah, the next step would be standardizing, like try to bring this layout to that scale. So now I can even like get the walls that we were using and try to start getting those around the structures I have. So we
So yeah, I would. I mean, I'll let you do whatever you want to do, and then we can talk offline, so that way we're not having this kind of discussion on YouTube. But what I would argue for, and what I'm trying to get across, and I guess maybe I'm doing a horrible job at it. I do not currently like where it is headed for the base layer. That is what I'm worried and concerned about. I like the alleyways. I like all that stuff. The base layer does not make sense, and it doesn't have the form that it needs to have to be logical. That is my concern. And so when we're talking about this, you can add in walls and we can make things the legitimate, all this other, none of that matters. The base layer does not functionally work for what I'm trying to get across. And that is why I'm making the argument for use a 9x9, use a 6x6, use a 3x, whatever you want to use, it doesn't matter to me. This needs to be beefy in the sense that I need to understand that a house is going to be there or something else is going to be there. Over here, walls and all this other stuff, and you know, we cut into this. That's all cool. That's all different. We're not even there yet. I need this to look like this. I don't want cut-ins and all that other stuff. I need to know, okay, this whole section over here is going to be this, and this is going to be how much space this is going to take out. And if you want to cut into this and add a little bit extra, okay. But that's where I'm saying is if we know that this is 8, and that's the reason why I use 8 is because that's my measurement, right? If we know that this is 8 and the minimum is a 9x9, and we kind of use this logic to block things in, I'm not saying it's perfect, but if we use this logic to block things in, then now I have a good understanding of space and what that space requirement is going to be for my alleyways, for everything else. Because I know if Ryu has said the minimum is a 9x9, then I can't make things that look like this because it doesn't work. And that's the reason why I think it's so important to get this base layer done first. I would, whether however you want to do it, rework it, whatever, put a 9x9 here and start working with your 9x9s so you know what all the base layer is. And then you can say, okay, this jets out here, or this jets out here, or it comes here. And that's how we create what you're doing right now with a base layer that makes sense for the heights and everything else.
Yeah. I got that.
Yes, Serenity.
So you like the layout that we have going? That's the question.
Yes.
Okay, so let me bring that into a standardized 9x9 blocks.
Forgive me.
Sure. I'm just gonna say it one last time, just so I can make sure that I said it. I do like this layout. I don't like this smallness. This is not gonna work for me. Like, it's not. So if you had a one-off where this comes out and there's a tower that like comes up, okay, that makes sense because it's a walkway and there's a tower. But this is not a livable space. Nobody's living in this. So that is like those things like that are this tiny and small. If it's a walkable like thing like that, okay. Or if it's a little tiny terrace, okay, whatever, that's fine. But having something like nobody is living in this right here. And if the whole point of this is to make the living area, I need this to be livable.
Architecturally, it makes no sense to him. That's what he's struggling with.
Correct.
Sounds like the lowest frequency of detail needs to be addressed.
And I agree with you wholeheartedly, Audigius. That is a great way of saying it. The base form is not good in my eyes. If we can get the base form, like this bottom layer, good, then we can do all the other things on top of that. You've already, like I said, you're very skilled at making the details and making it look sexy. I'm not worried about that. I'm
One thing,
concerned
Ryan,
about how these look. Go ahead. And
ignoring
I'll
that.
get out of here soon, Unreal. Sorry, I'm not.
No, I was going to say that. Pick
Take it
one of the
further.
buildings because I actually want to see how Unreal approaches it from the way he's approaching it. I actually want to see one finished product, one building, using his blocked out method.
Wait, what? There's no buildings done with that. So
No,
I can come down here.
You got your Lego blocks blocking out building sets, right? And you're looking at someone who's going, the function over form is not matching the form over the function type thing. You say, this doesn't make sense. Point to one of them and just say, tell Unreal, basically the idea is, because you have mapped something out in your head already, I'm assuming, or you just basically stuck things on top of each other. I'm interested to see what one outcome would be.
Well, so he's
Two
already
reasons.
designed
One,
this.
yeah, two reasons. Mainly because he comes from a different perspective in the way you would design things, Ryu, and I actually see if it can bring something that enriches the game, as opposed to whether it just falls apart right in the immediate place.
I'm not sure. Again, he's already done that. It's already here. And what I would,
Do you like it or not?
Yes and no. There are parts of it that I don't like, and we've already.
What don't you like?
I think that's a conversation for off stream.
Because we're technically here and appraise this entire thing.
I'm not here to monopolize his stream. Like, we're talking and he's just sitting back chilling. Like, what? This is not a good stream.
What Ryu doesn't like is rooms that are very small to be believable in like like a logical sense of architecture. Like like we need to have enough space in each room to actually make sense of it.
Yeah. Where you got blocked off terraces on each side from each other, that's not necessarily something.
I was approaching it more from a like, let's make it look cool from a video game like illusion perspective. Like it looks cool, but it's actually not that functional if you actually go inside. Like most video games do, like they make the exteriors look very nice, but inside it doesn't really make much sense.
Well, what is it? 99% of games you can't go into any of the buildings, and you basically see from the outside, and they're completely useless objects to the art.
I was about ready to say that. So if you couldn't go inside of the buildings, then I wouldn't be arguing right now. But these whole, especially the first layer, the players can go inside those buildings. And we can make it to where. Sorry, go ahead.
So Ryu, I think what he wants is like every room to be at least 9 by 9, so it kind of makes sense to have something in there. Instead of just like these super tiny.
You can have a toilet for 3 by 1. I mean, the reality is, think about function of how would you design the building. When you live in your house or your apartment, I'm not sure which, what do you have that you need to live? What are the necessities? That's the very basic thinking that you got to have, because that's throw logic. If you live in a dormitory, okay, there's a very different aesthetics. So Ryu from the military, when he's living in the holds, is very different aesthetics. So you think about the buildings, what type of aesthetic are you going to have? Public bathrooms down the end of each corridor. Do you know what I mean? It's you don't have to go to the nth detail of having laundry machines and all that sort of thing, but the idea is to take the gist of it so that it feels like it's slightly living, breathing, and it's functional.
And I want to make sure this is clear too. We're not there yet. Like that's like third degree thinking. We're not even there yet. All I need is enough space to where we can figure that out. And that's the reason why I want a bigger block. And we don't have to make it to where, to your point, Unreal, we don't have to make it to where everything is walkable on the inside. All I want is the space there, so that way it feels like and it looks like the way that it should be. Not every space, we can put a door there and block them off from going inside and making it look good. But I want every space to feel like it is the size that it should be. And that is what I do want. I want the very much the depth and the feel. When you play Space Marine 2, I can't go to those far off vistas, but they detailed all those far off vistas out, and they look exactly as they would look if I was to, go up to them closely, and all the depth and space and everything else matches. So anyways,
but
we're not going to take up any more of your stream. I'm not anyways.
That's all right. Also think of it from one other aspect. Locked off areas they don't necessarily can, even if they're being created, does mean that they can be utilizable for quests like breaking into a room or retrieving this from areas that are not normally accessible. So
We're not thinking about that yet. Stop. You're adding
I
that
have
stuff.
to think about that's my bullshit.
You're correct. That's your job, not his. He's designing. So, anyways, hopefully that helps. If you have any more questions, man, let's talk off stream so that we're not monopolizing. We've taken almost 30 minutes of your stream up, so I apologize.
Hey, I just wanted to waffle on.
All right. Let's. I will try to do that. Let's get the main floor, and let's get 9x9 on each building.
Have a good stream, mate.
All right, I appreciate it, guys.
We don't. We're just dicks.
Okay. We got some feedback. So, let's see. I can continue playing with the.
Most intense 30 minutes I have seen on my team.
It's good to have this conversation now than having this conversation later, like after, I don't know, 8 or 16 hours of work, and then be like, well, that's not exactly what they were trying to do. So it's I think it's good to have this conversation as early as possible. So the idea here is to come up with a 9x9, and we're gonna place some of these buildings walls around so we can get the height. That way I know that I'm staying on the right size of things. Okay, so here this is 9x9 or 3x3, I'm not sure, but 3 walls by 3 walls. Okay, so this is the minimum size of a room. This is basically what the size that Ryu thinks is the minimum that we should have per room, which makes sense to make it more functional. Okay, so I'll try to basically use the same layout I have and see if I can push make it like beefier, like Ryu said. It's gonna look super blocky, and that's okay. Then we can start like adding more interesting stuff. And this is kind of like one of the first approaches I had for this. I said like, what if we do this kind of like cube-like structures with already the measurements that we were going to go for.
Definitely can appreciate the point of view of the artwork dash function versus function dash artwork.
Yeah, on the first buildings I made them like very kind of like,
It's also super hard to communicate the vision someone has when the language around the subject is intricate.
Yeah, but I appreciate having this conversation as early as possible, because it's kind of hard to. Okay, now you see we have 9x9 spaces, and now we can get a third floor here, and I will try.
Has there been concept art done for this?
Not really.
I struggle with for sure when sharing my visions of my games to people.
We don't really have like specific art, concept art, but we do have a lot of reference images. So let's say, okay, that's gonna cover this, and I will try to use this logic to go around things and convert all of these buildings into that. Hopefully this is a good approach.
One nice thing with Unreal is you can render them and then use control and to generate concepts. I mean, just saying that. Reference art pulled from the interwebs, yes, actual concept art only in the sense of blocking things out, not actual end scene art.
Yeah. I mean, we've used a lot of just images as reference. Some of them just like for structure, and other ones for like, not really trying to copy the thing one by one, but just to get like a good idea of what things could look like.
Stable confusion. Too evil.
Yeah, we can definitely. I think we have generated some stuff just for ideation. Okay. Okay, nice. So if I hide this, now everything's 9 by 9. Everything here is 9 by 9 as well. So I think that's a good approach. Let's get this one. Since these are the measurements that we are using for our walls, I think it's, now that I have like this kind of rough layout, bringing everything into this measurement kind of makes sense.
Want to throw in some depth renders would be happy to throw in some quick concepts. Winky face.
Nice. Yeah, for this stage, it's really, I think it's really just experimentation. We're really trying to just come up with like cubes. Cubes that align well with the position of things. And also I think that Ryu is right in the sense that maybe I'm jumping too much into details too fast, but now the idea is just to get the rough layout.
I try to do everything at once, so I have a nervous breakdown.
It's kind of cool. Like I think I came up with like very cool buildings. So from there we can definitely do something interesting. They don't need, I mean, we don't need to use those buildings like I have them, but I think it's it's like a nice style of building. We just need to shape it to this kind of like proportion. I could probably make a group or maybe merge this, but having it just separated, it will be super nice once we get into the next step. So I can start just building from this. Let's see if this works out. So for example, like these little blocks here, he doesn't like that. So let's try to make everything 9 by 9. Okay, here is one. I cannot really see. I should probably get a transparent material. I think this one. Makes things a little bit transparent, and I should be able to get this one here. Maybe something like here. We can have 1/3 floor somewhere here. And another second floor here. Something like this. Then let's get this other one. There's another cube there, just floating. Maybe I made that with the cube grid by mistake. Okay, let's get this another one here. Okay, basically, yeah, just going back to simple cube, simple cubes here, and we can add a 3rd floor here. Maybe even a 4th floor on this one. let's push this one to this side. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's okay. I'm gonna intersect these walls. And bring it up.
So that is the minimum size of a room, but not the only size. So a room could be 1.5 of those.
Yeah, that's what I. He wants to basically make the minimum size as this, and we can have it smaller. We can cut this a little bit, but he wants like the first round of the blockout to be like this. To be very, very blocky, very. And also he wants to know like what the height is gonna be. So by using these pieces, we know that the specific height of things. This can also, like, once this gets approved, then we can get into details and maybe add like balconies, terraces, more stuff like that. This like entire roof could be a terrace. And he's right, like if you look at this, it starts feeling more.
How to work Unreal. Have a good screen.
Thank you, Stormy. So he's right in the sense that it starts feeling like more of a real city. Like actually things are have way more space. And from here, like we can really have a lot of fun and just like make it wider or a little bit smaller. But I think that it's a good size to use as a block.
Now levels start looking good. Thumbs up.
Yeah, I think it was good feedback. It was a pretty. It was good advice. Yeah, I made that kind of like super the cube grid thing, just like, kind of like as a first like iteration, kind of like trying to figure out like where the alleys and like streets are going to go. But now that we have that, I think it's time to try to modify it into something more like functional, like he said.
At audio, this minimum size is not really 3x3. That is more a guide to having a small room standard which can be populated. Things like corridors and such will have different dimensions.
Yeah, and it does feel nicer. Like it does actually feel more believable. Like there's actually space inside to make things.
Depends on who you define 3x3. The answer, 3x3, or the 300x300, then yes. 3x3 is accurate. But if we are talking Unreal units, it's 9x9. 900 x 900.
Okay, that's the If you go to a how do you call this? Shops where you buy wood and stuff, and you ask for a 9x9 piece of wood. It's gonna be inches, I guess, right? So they will give you basically 9x9 inches, right, of wood. But here we're using centimeters, so it will be 900 by 900, 9 meters by 9 meters, let's say. Okay,
In this case it was 3 wall unit by 3 wall unit walls, which is agreed with 3x3 came from.
Basically. Yeah, that's our measurement. For example, here,
Unreal uses meters.
centimeters, basically. So 300 will.
LOL. Let's not overtake chat with this combo. LOL.
It basically it's I think it's centimeters. So if you put.
Okay, I'm out to work. Be well.
All right, Stormy, have a good one. So if you say like 300 centimeters will be 3 meters, but I think it's centimeters what Unreal works on. Oh, this is 4 rooms, 4 floors, even 5 floors. Oh my god, okay. Let's.
An Unreal Cube is 1x1x1, which is 100x100x100 cm.
In the modeling tools, that's the default measurement. On the grid, that's the size of 1 cube on the grid of the default grid in Unreal, which is 1 meter.
So, the scale is 1x1x1, but the size is 100 centimeters.
I mean, it depends. Like, if you go here to modeling tools,
So yeah, we are all saying the same things.
if you get a box, you see it says 100. The scale is 1, right? Because it's just kind of like baked to 1. But here on the modeling tools, you get 100. Okay, let's see. Okay, here's where things are going to get a little bit more complex. Let's just blockify this. We're gonna have a lot of intersecting walls, but that's fine. Can get them cleared. Okay, and here we could probably have another one, even maybe a fourth. Maybe let's go like this. and it does feel more like a town, like city buildings. Okay, next step is gonna get all these that we had before here, and then I'm gonna group all of these in separate little buildings so we can move things around, because now that things are a little bit more bulky, we need to probably spread them a little bit differently.
Is 5 floors high too big for slums?
Well, the word slum, I'm not really sure if that's exactly what we are going for.
Could be a watchtower, and not a house. Alright. Finally fixed my name. That is what he makes it into. Add audio Gus and Brass.
Oh, nice. So yeah, hopefully this is what you were hopefully this is what you were trying to.
Smiley face.
Hopefully this is what you were trying to do, Ryu. Blockify the thing and make it more chunkier. Because from here, like, we can really just, once we have this set, we can really like cut down maybe like 300 units in, and we can have a terrace out.
Yes, I wouldn't use the walls like you are doing. I would use cubes, but to each their own.
Yeah, I mean, I could use cubes. Just make the cube the specific size and right pivot point, but it also kind of like gives me an idea, like a better idea.
Nice to visualize the floors were scaled from a distance.
Yeah, that's also the thing.
Uploaded new song to Redemption.
Oh, there's a new song? Nice. For the game?
Yes, it's for the caves and underground systems.
Oh, nice. Okay, I need to understand a little bit better what's actually going on here.
Why are you using Unreal?
Because the channel is called Unreal Habitat. That's
Cause Roblox seems to be on Unreal.
because yeah, Unreal is the best. I need to share a video I saw about Godot. That's super funny. Wow, this is super tall. You see, like with cubes, we wouldn't understand the actual height of things. We have 3, 4, 5, 6 floors. It's like, damn, we are going high in here. This is super high. With just normal cubes, I wouldn't be able to realize how high this is. It's like, damn. We are going crazy high with these things.
I can, cause my brain works that way. Tongue sticking out.
Like, damn, this is high.
But remember that this is also a wall, not just an apartment.
Um, I'm not sure if I'm like, you know, I'm not sure if I am understanding, like, you know, inside all these buildings there's going to be like walkable areas. It doesn't need to be like an apartment or anything, but like it represents like one floor, right?
It is all good. Do what you are doing now. I think we do a review together, after stream, or tomorrow. So we are on the same page. It is looking good. I will want a full report on my desk by 4 o'clock. Good night, folks.
All right, good night.
Face really smiling.
Okay, here we have this other area. Okay, at this point I'm not able to see what's going on, so I probably need to turn on this thing again. Oof, and this is an extra floor. Damn, that's crazy high. Yeah, the thing is that, I mean, yeah, again, that's the thing. Santorini is built on a hill, and here everything's flat on the ground, so that will require columns or structures that will pull these buildings up. Like you show me, you know, like those buildings that we were talking about. Can extend this a little bit, but let's just go with the 9x9 for now. Then we can start adding more stuff. Okay. Let's group some of this stuff. We don't. I think I need to activate the actor lock plugin, right? Let's make some groups. I think, well, it's not there yet. I think, I'm not sure if you added it already. Probably it's not. It's not there yet. Let's see this. Okay, that height is going to be.
It is added.
I pulled before the stream.
If you pull earlier, you will have it.
Actor locker. That's strange.
Okay, well then go to that and add it to your engine.
Oh, it's an engine plugin.
You
Uh-huh.
might not have pushed.
Yeah. It's. I think it's. I need to install it through the engine. Yeah. It's not a. It's one of those that you need to actually install. because I think it's external to Unreal. Okay.
Takes 5 seconds, and restart.
Yeah, I will get it. Trying to figure out one more floor, or should we cut it there? I think, yeah, this is probably the highest. Is that, yeah, that's probably the highest structure. And okay, I want to see here, all of this is blocky, so let's add more here. Okay. Yeah, placing boxes is easy, but when you're trying to actually make sense of it, it's where things get very complex. This is all flat. Okay, so let's think about it. Let's extend those to the side. And actually, let's see if I can start matching a little bit of...
The floors don't have to be just 3x3, right? Like Unreal can make them 3x4 or 3x5 if he wants to accommodate his vision from before, right?
I think that we need to see how things are going to work out, because the buildings that I had before, I think the proportions are going to change. They're gonna be much wider. That's probably like the style that we are going to use, but they're going to be a little bit wider. For example, some of them, I mean, we could probably just push this here and have like a terrace here, but that's what I'm trying to figure out. Okay, the main block. So let's connect these two here. One, two, three. Is this on the same? I think those. No, we don't need to intersect those. There are like that. Okay. Okay, here we have these two towers, which are this thing. So let's see. They go up here. Let's see this one. It's gonna be like a bridge here. And here, this one goes out way more.
All right, I desperately need to go to sleep. It is 2:45 a.m. for me. Progress. You guys are killing. God bless.
I appreciate it. Have a great night. And I'm missing another building here that we could probably. All of this is gonna be pushed out a little. What is here? Here I think. That's gonna go up. This needs to intersect 10 units right here, and obviously it's gonna have more space to that side. We're gonna push all of it a little bit farther away. And I think I'm gonna just grab these. Try to align it a little bit with this, so I get to see. Okay, here we have this flat area. How do you call these? Cube grid tool output 4. So okay, I need another piece that goes here. And it's time to probably restart the engine, get the actor locker, and get some groups going. Okay, wanna push it 10 units and 10 units to the
Those buildings should be generated with blueprints.
yeah, I got a I got a, PCG graph for buildings, but you cannot modify them too much. The idea is to try to get to something like this. You cannot really do this with PCG or blueprints. This kind of style of things, like, you see, be able to just move things each piece by piece and stuff. It's if you want like apartment buildings, like a cube, I think it's great. But if you're going for something like this, it's not so easy to have full control over it with PCG.
We will get there one day. LOL.
I really don't. I really don't believe. I mean, PCG is great for nature and stuff like that, but for buildings, like stylized stuff like this, I'm not really sure about PCG. Really, it's takes a lot of effort, and the customization you get after baking is not that much. You end up with a lot of instanced meshes, and it's just very hard to actually go in and tweak by one by one. It would be nice, like, to, you know, make a PCG stamp and get like each piece individually, like as an actor, not as an instance, so I can go and change one by one and modify it. That would be amazing, but I think that's not. Maybe that's possible. Maybe there's a way to, instead of making instances, you get the actor, and you can actually go in there and just tweak it by hand. But yeah, I spent some time with PCG, and it's not giving me the artistic freedom that I am looking for. I still think it's a great tool for a lot of things, especially nature, stuff like that. But if you look online, the results that people get for buildings are very kind of like, you know, exactly what you see here, like just blocks.
Tiny Blade did it. There is a lot of code that has to be done to make it work the way we want.
Yeah, Tiny Glade is
Down the road, we can invest in it. Right now, not worth the effort.
Tiny Glade. It's they made their own engine for that, so not sure if you can get those results in Unreal. Maybe if you create your own custom tools, but definitely you will need to go deep in it, like seriously deep. But it's very exciting, like, to see what people can do with PCG. At the end of the day, I always thought that, you know, just hand placement, it gives you the best results. It definitely takes more effort, but also making a PCG graph takes it takes a lot of time. Okay, anyways, so yeah, this is the original Blockout. Yeah, we can probably take this one out. Yeah, it's kind of funny, like we are going back and forward with this. It's like Yeah, I still think that I still think that we shouldn't worry that much about the functionality of the buildings. But like this more robust like style definitely gives it more of a city vibe. We probably don't need this anymore, right? Like now that we have a bunch of other ones, I'm gonna get those. This was just to measure the height. So this one. Okay, I would like to move this so it connects. I don't know. I'm having my doubts about this.
Take a rest. Push.
All right. 1, 2. This one. This is a little bit higher. Oh nice, that was perfectly on the grid. And we can probably push this one. Whoops. this one. Ah, okay, no, this is not. Oops. And then make a group of this and just align it here. Yeah, I'm just gonna close this one, and I think that's it. Wait. We are 10 of 20 units that we need to push into this wall. Nice. Okay. It's very hard to visualize without the flat parts. And all of these could probably be pushed there. Three, 6. Damn it, yeah. I don't know, man. These are definitely, I'm not sure about this being a slum. Again, because it's not built on a
All
hill.
that in the folder, please. I'm sticking out.
Okay, let me hide all of this so we can make some room. Okay, let's get this one as well. What is this here? A piece of fence, okay. Let's make sure we're not selecting anything that okay, just gonna turn off the sky, the UDS and the water flux. Okay, make sure that I'm not selecting anything. Okay, I'm gonna get all of these, put it in a folder. Let's call it like slum wall layout. Okay. Now we are supposed to be able to perfect. This has two parts. Let's make it a group so it's easy to select. And this is supposed to be a group for some reason. Okay, and now this is not a group but is inside a folder. Okay, nice. Okay, we got it. All right, it's been 3 hours and 30. Nice. Okay, well, we got some layout experimentation. Okay, I'm gonna leave it here and go get some feedback and see where we go from here. All right, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next